tribulations, my heart, my balls, my somebody stop me, somebody come and get me. Little did I know that the Lord was riding with me. The law, the light, my heart, the fight, the wrong, the right is gone.
Welcome back to another JVS movie review brought to you from the Toronto Film Festival. Now this here is one of the more interesting films I saw at Midnight Madness for TIFF. And it's interesting because to this day I'm literally confused on what the movie is truly about. And this one is A Man of Reason, and here is the quick synopsis. A man who spent 10 years in prison wants to live a normal life, free from the past chasing after him. And this one is written, directed, and starring Korean superstar Jung Woo-sung. Now, at TIFF, he also had Hunt that actually premiered at TIFF along with this one. But this is his directorial debut. This was his big film. My first thoughts of A Man of Reason is the cinematography of it is amazing. This film looks great on every conceivable level. On the way they shot this film, you can clearly tell the love and detail that he had for this to be his directorial debut. It just looks so stunning. But then that's where everything stops with this movie. As we're introduced to the character, we get introduced to the character as he's getting out of prison, and he's getting to reconnect with the love of his life. And then he finds out that he has a child that he had while he was away in prison. And after that, we get the ambiguous, the commonplace themes of, hey, I'm trying to escape this life. The old mob who gracious that he went to jail for them because of what he pulled off. Now they still want him to work for them, and they want him to show them respect, and all of these other avenues of things that he goes down as he's attempting to leave the life that he led before prison, and now he's attempting to start this new life with this woman and this newly found child that he has. The issue is, at no point in time, no matter how amazingly beautiful this is, it may be 4 action scenes in this movie. It sets itself up to be a thriller, a crime thriller, a modern day thriller of someone trying to escape the life that they lived before this. It's a known storyline that you've seen countless times in films. But here, this is a drama. And I think because of it, it sends a misdirection onto what type of film you should be expecting when you go see A Man of Reason. And that's what threw me off more than anything. The dramatic elements aren't that good because we don't spend enough time knowing these characters. Like, it's big things that happen with characters in this film, but because you're not invested at all in them and the character development is not good, you don't particularly care what happens to these characters in this movie. And when you don't care what happens to the characters in the movie, you tend to lean in this genre of film on the action aspects of it. And you can't get those action aspects of it because this is, in all honesty, if it was meant to be an action film, someone should have told everyone involved that it was meant to be an action film. This feels like a drama. It moves like a drama. It moves like a badly acted drama, though. And again, that is the problem with it. Jung Woo-sung, like you can see and understand his star power. He's charismatic when he's on screen. It's great. Again, I think that also helps with how visual this film is and how great it looks. Like, it picks perfect moments to shoot him, and it works wonders for him playing the typical Western role of the guy who doesn't speak much. I like anything you've seen from the older versions of the Clint Eastwood films and things of that nature, when you get this type of character where his actions speak much louder than his words. But here, besides the opening action scene, we really don't get much of his actions to understand who he is, why he's so feared, why he did what he did that landed him in prison. You really don't get any of that. Instead, you get thrown into a action drama with a very cookie cutter storyline that does nothing to engage you. And I think that is the biggest issue with this film. I just didn't understand it. I didn't understand why did it want to move the way that it did, and if it was just an utter confusion on what type of film they wanted to make here. I think this could have worked great if you would have leaned 1,000% so into the drama aspects of it and explore what it means to get out of prison and try to live a different life where people are dragging you in another direction. Granted, that movie has been done countless times also, and as a drama countless times, but maybe it'll work better here if we would have went down that angle. But instead, we have here's an action thriller with little to no action, and when we do get the action feels pointless. And I think that's the struggle of it. When you do these type of films, the action has to serve a purpose. And here, the action never really serves a purpose, and it's not particularly choreographed well to serve a purpose. So it leaves you just confused on if everyone involved understood, like, this was what we wanted to make with A Man of Reason. And instead, we get, unfortunately, a below average, run of the mill type of action thriller. So, A Man of Reason, brought to you from the Toronto Film Festival. Out of a possible 10, I'm going to give A Man of Reason a 5 out of 10. In the end, it's still shot amazingly. You feel the star power of the film. Unfortunately, that's about it. The story is ridiculous. The plot, even worse. The score didn't catapult the film to anything past the basic run-of-the-mill action thriller. The biggest and best elements of this film is the cinematography and the way this film is shot. It is shot amazingly well. But I think because that element of it is so high, when the other elements of the film don't come close to reaching that plateau, you get a film that struggles to know what it should be. And in turn, you get an audience who may see this film who's going to get confused on, is this an action film? Is this a drama? But what you won't be confused about is either way, it's not technically a good film. It's not a good action film. It's not a good drama film. So you're just stuck wondering, like, well, what is the purpose of this story? Because a lot of it doesn't make sense, and there's not really one huge element that's going to make you stick by and watch the whole film. This has been another JVS movie review from the Toronto Film Festival. Peace, people.